just imagine growing up in a third world country where, as a child, you look around you and you see pigs, roaming the streets, eating garbage. You see women having different multiple baby fathers. And you see where poverty is easily defined by lifestyle rather than resources. And you get to see people leave from these areas that we call ghettos and join the middle class because they change their ethos. They change their set of living truths. And they now have a different mindset, a growth mindset. And I mean, people started sending their children to private schools in hope that their children would get a better education. Now it's hit or miss. Like sometimes you had 3 children and two made it out. One, or in some cases, one made it out. But what's important is as those children got older, they started to look around them and say to themselves, what's going on? This type of, and it's not the laws. The laws are great, but it's the mindset that you're around. You're saying, what's going on around me? Why do people have this mindset? It seems so easy to you that if you adopt a different mindset, a growth mindset, that you can escape poverty. But the majority of people are not in that mindset. So that's why people go and they move to different countries, because they feel helpless in trying to help that country move forward. And plus they're just looking to have a good lifestyle for them and their family. So they leave. But when they leave and they travel more, they see that this mindset is also within these first world countries. And then they wonder, hey, and I'm sure I'm a Jamaican immigrant, but I'm sure there are African immigrants, Philippines, people from the Philippines and different places who sit and say, wow, there is so much opportunity here. Why is it that some people are not embracing this opportunity? Like, oh my God, look at the opportunity here. And I think that is truly red-pilled. When you look, you literally see the matrix. You see the bits. You don't see the facade of racism and oppression. You actually see that beyond that, there is a great opportunity. And my definition of racism has to be prejudice with power. Because I believe that if someone is prejudicial against me and they have no power, I don't care. Because, there was something that happened to me years ago. I got this brand new camera and I was testing it out. So I ventured out into this park in a downtown city, and I was there and I was taking pictures and I was using the zoom. And this guy approached me, 2 of them, and they looked a bit disheveled and that, and they were white men and that, and they came over to me and they said to me, hey, and the guy, before he even stopped, I'm from a third world country. I assumed that he was begging, and I was wrong. So I said, hey, I have nothing to give you, sorry. And that, I had on my long sleeve shirt and tie, as obviously someone who worked in a tower, and I was, just there on my lunch break. And this guy told me an expletive, and he called me the N-word, and he said, hey, you guys are, all manner of nonsense. I can't even remember what he said, but I remember feeling unsafe because I wanted to get out of that space. I remember leaving that space, but I did not feel racism from that. I felt that I was wrong to judge him, and I was prejudiced in what I did. I shouldn't have done that. But I told that story to tell you that that's how I view racism. I cannot see someone who is homeless being racist against someone who has a home, has their standard of living. And plus, even if the person has a home and they're rich, as long as they don't affect my freedom and my livelihood, like, I can't see how they can be racist to me. Denying me services, probably, and that. But the fact of the matter, we're in a free market, so I mean, I can just go down the road to another place to do that. Although we don't want that to be a common thing. But what it is, as I'm saying to you, leaving these third world places helps you to be red pill. And my thought is, can this red pill be transferred to oppressed minorities who may not have that red pill? And it's difficult. It's very difficult to do it because there's a lot of mistrust when a guy from the third world who has a failed country says to you, hey, listen, you can make it. It's like, the world is your oyster, you can make it. Because then the person says, hey, you came from a third world country, why didn't you fix that? But what a lot of people don't understand is it's gotten so bad in these countries that the bright ones, that's what you call brain drain, have left, and they're running away from the country because they can't see a way to fix it. And But what they're trying to say to, other, I put in quotes, oppressed minorities is, hey, why not make use of the fact that there are opportunities here? And it's something difficult because, as I said, I always go back to it. It's all in the mind. And if people can escape that, then it helps. But the problem is when you live in a community that there is a complete mindset of failure, complete mindset of feeling oppressed, then that area actually holds you down. And that area is something that you have to leave. Like, I'll tell anyone, I left a third world country and I got freedom from leaving that third world country. I would tell people, leave those areas with that third world mindset to get freedom from it. And I'll tell anyone that. I'll shout it from the mountaintops, because that third world mindset is holding down a lot of people, because it's a crab in the barrel mindset. It's one in which you don't celebrate success because everyone around you is failing. Why would you celebrate success when everyone around you is failing? That's crazy. So my message to folks is, do your best to leave that area, escaping whatever stand. Leave it, because that area is holding you down. And for folks in that area, I mean, I always believe it. The most difficult thing is to change someone else. I can change myself, but I wouldn't even venture to try to. I'm married and I can't even change my wife or even my children below me. They, once they have formed their mindsets, you can encourage them, but you can't just change them. And I can't change a stranger's mindset. But what I can do is leave. And I am not a very spiritual person. Some people may explain it in a spiritual way that there's a demonic oppression over it. I don't believe in that stuff. But if you want to believe that, that's there. But that is a common subculture that is formed. And that subculture has a cocoon around it. And that cocoon around it basically keeps everyone into a state of oppression, a state of depression, a state of constant animosity. And it's something that people need to see. So escaping whatever stand is something that should be on everyone's mind, because there's freedom in leaving that area. Now, when you go to a new area, if you take that mindset to a new area, then you are actually hurting the new community that you go to. So a lot of it is the conditioning has to change. You have to change your mindset. Thank you, guys.